Hi there everyone, and welcome to this video. So in this video we are going to talk about some functionality called the time registers in Business Central. And what this functionality allows us to do is basically track how long and what date users have been logged in to our Business Central company within BC itself. And before we get into this functionality, I should say that there are a number of different ways that we can track what users are logged into our Business Central environments. There's a number of ways that we can do that. I mean, I'm thinking of the Admin Center, but there are other ways that you can do that in the wider Microsoft infrastructure, so not within the Business Central environment itself. But for today, let's focus on the time registers within BC itself, okay? So what I'm going to do first here is just use the search function to go to our general ledger setup. And there's a checkbox here that I need to enable that's called register time, okay? So that's quite important here because if you have multiple companies, the general ledger setup will be set up per company, of course, so you may need to do this multiple times in your multiple companies if you want to register time across all of your companies. Or maybe that's a candidate for master data management, perhaps. I'm not sure, I guess we'd need to test that. So once that's done, there is another bit of setup that we need to do. So if I come into user setup here, this is basically just a screen on which you can add users who have access to your system. At the moment, I've just got my admin user in there, but you can drop down and add other users when you have those available. And on this screen, what I'm going to do is just show you the register time tick box, which is basically set up against each user who is logged into the system, and you can choose to register time against a particular user or not register time against a particular user. So those are the two bits of setup that you need to do. Don't forget, if you have a new user and you want to register time when you add them, you also need to add them to the user setup and say you want to register time for them. Otherwise, their time in the system, in this company, won't be tracked. Okay, so once we've done those two bits of setup, if I come into a page here called User Time Registers, this screen will basically log per user ID, per date, the number of minutes that a user is logged in. Okay, so this is basically just a record that summarizes the number of minutes that I was logged into this company for this particular date as this particular user. Okay, so it's quite important, if you log in multiple times, it will just add to this same record because it's summarized by date, minutes and user ID. Whereas if I was to log in on the following day, I'd have another record below here, and again the minutes would begin summarizing on that day as well. And that's basically how the user time registers work. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the next one.